We all dream about financial freedom. But what if I told you that the number everyone's chasing, that magic $1 million goal, is actually wrong? Yeah, you heard me. Let's dive in and find out the real number that changes everything. So what is that number? The one that really truly unlocks the door? The one that takes you from that daily stressful grind to a life of actual freedom? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking. And the best part? It's way more achievable. Okay, so here it is. The big myth, it's $1 million. But the reality, it's half that. That's right, $500,000. That is the real inflection point. It's the moment the entire game of building wealth starts to tilt in your favor. Seriously, this is where your life can completely change. So let's just totally redefine the goal here. We're going to break down exactly why 500 grand is the true freedom number. And more importantly, how aiming for that specific target unlocks all these amazing strategies that honestly most people never even think about. All right, first things first, let's make sure we're all on the same page. When I throw these numbers around, I'm talking about your net worth. It's super simple, really. Just take everything you own, your assets, and subtract everything you owe, your liabilities. Boom! That's your score in this whole financial game. And this really puts that goal into perspective. Check this out. The median net worth for someone in the US in their 50s is just under $200,000. So see, our $500,000 target isn't just some random number we pulled out of a hat. It's a deliberate, ambitious plan to shoot way, way past what's considered average. But look, you don't just go out and run a marathon on day one, right? You start with a sprint. So let's talk about that first sprint, that first super critical milestone on this journey, hitting your first $10,000. So why is this step so important? I'll tell you why. Because hitting that five-figure mark, it's just this huge psychological win. It finally breaks you out of that constant, nagging, low-level money stress that just traps so many people. It's like your first real taste of breathing room, and getting there isn't magic. It's a system. It's pretty straightforward. Step one, automate your contributions. Just set it and forget it. Step two, this is huge. You shift from just saving cash to actually investing it. And step three, you track your progress. You got to see the needle moving to stay motivated and consistent. And this right here, this nails the real reason for that first $10,000. Honestly, it's not really about the money itself. It's about building the discipline, the muscle memory that you're going to need for that big leap to 100,000 and then everything that comes after. Okay? So once you've built that foundation, you are ready for the main event. Let's get into it. The $500,000 inflection point. Because this, my friends, is where your money starts to really work for you. $500,000. Just let that sink in. At this stage, you've hit what you could call critical mass. Your portfolio isn't just a savings account anymore. Nope, it's an engine. And it's an engine that starts doing all the heavy lifting all by itself. Let's just look at the math here because it's pretty incredible. With a portfolio of that size, an average 8% return from the market, that generates $40,000 in 1 year. And get this, that's without you putting in another single dime. Your money is literally making more money than a lot of people manage to save in an entire year of working. And if you think that's good, the long-term view is even more stunning. I mean, check this out. If you hit $500,000 and then just stopped, never invested another penny, compounding alone could turn that into $1 million in about 10 years. And then over 2 million in 20. That is the kind of power you're unlocking here. So you've unlocked this incredible power. What do you do with it? Well, this is where a brilliant strategy comes into play, one that most people have never even heard of. It's called CoastFIRE. And CoastFIRE is a total game changer. What it means is you've saved up enough money that your investments all on their own will grow into a full-blown retirement fund. They just coast to the finish line. The bottom line, you no longer have to save for retirement. Think about that. And just look at the difference this makes in your life. Instead of that high stress, gotta climb the ladder, maximize every penny kind of grind, you just shift your focus. All you need to do is work enough to cover your daily expenses. The stress just melts away, and your daily freedom, it goes through the roof. Now I know this all sounds pretty amazing, and trust me, it is. But, and this is a big but, there is a huge psychological trap you have to watch out for once you hit this milestone. Okay, but first, let's be super clear. Retiring on this number is absolutely possible. I mean, if a couple combines a safe withdrawal from their $500,000 nest egg with their Social Security checks, you're looking at an annual income of over 73,000 bucks. For most people, that is a genuinely comfortable retirement. But here's the trap. When you see that big number sitting in your account, it gives you this false sense of comfort. It feels like you've already won, you know? And your brain can trick you into thinking the game is over. It's not even close. The biggest risk you face at this point, it's not a market crash. It's lifestyle inflation. It's that temptation to go, hey, I can afford that new car, or let's get a bigger house, before you've actually locked in your freedom. Being able to resist that urge, that is the whole key. So I want you to remember this. Getting started is always the hardest part. That financial friction, that struggle, it's at its absolute peak when you're just trying to get from 0 to 10 grand and then on to 100. But once you cross that $500,000 finish line, you've basically beaten the boss level. You've conquered the hardest part of the game. So that just leaves one last question, and this one's for you. We've totally busted the $1 million myth. Now it's your turn to think. Based on your life, your dreams, your goals, what is your real freedom number?